So it is recording.
All right, here we go.
Here we go again.
So hi, I'm Rene Bohr, and this is my cycling buddy, Tommy O'Donnell, and here we are at the end of day 5, Tommy. What a day today.
Yes, what a day.
108-degree heat index, rode 45 miles with Cindy, and we couldn't get into that air-conditioned RV fast enough.
Yeah, it's extremely hot right now.
Yeah, very, very hot. And we have riding along the Mississippi River today.
We started in Pepin, Wisconsin. I keep getting that mixed up. So we're like back and forth between Wisconsin and Minnesota.
Yeah.
So Pepin, Wisconsin, now in Winona.
So we just hopped across the bridge.
Yep.
So we've become quite the food guys on this cross-country cycling trip.
We're going to start having a little segment, just, food reviews and awesome places that we find along the way.
What would be your top 3 in just the last couple of days?
Number 1 by far, burger, is the Blue Dog off of the Cannon Falls Trail.
In Welch, Wisconsin.
Yeah, good stuff.
If you ever get there, you've got to stop. It was fabulous.
Yeah, Rusty, you definitely got to try it.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
All right.
Rusty, I had a yak burger, and I know you're a cattle guy, but you would have died for this yak burger. I'm not kidding. And then today, Tommy,
hey, I like yak burger.
Oh, you do? Okay, good.
Nice.
And then today, you hit the bakery of
Alma.
Of all bakeries.
So we stopped along. There's all these little towns along the river there, and we stopped in Alma at a bakery there. Man, it was good stuff. Apple fritter, cinnamon rolls, flourless chocolate cake.
Rusty, you would have driven across the Mississippi River for this bakery.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I'm telling you, Rusty.
Well, I could probably be there in a day.
That's true, right?
And then today's burger stop was, what was it?
929 Beers and Grill or something like that.
Yeah. The Beer House and Grill.
Yeah, double burger, double meat, double cheese, yes, all the good stuff.
Now, some of you athletes out there may be a little concerned about our protein intake. But I can tell you that it doesn't matter what kind of food you eat because you have no problem burning it off. So,
burning that off.
Not to be concerned. So today's guest is Rusty Williamson, a great friend of ours. And today's question is posed by Carlos Toliver. And it's, how do you prepare yourself for a long and tedious task? But before we get to that question, for Rusty, we've got some questions for you. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Were you born ready? That's the question.
So I was definitely born ready.
Okay, good. So give us a brief background, where you grew up and how you got started in business and, just some career highlights. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So from a really young age, I just had a real liking for business. I actually started my first fencing company for the neighboring ranches when I was about 16 years old. It was called Iron Glove Fencing. And I would just
good one.
So I would just contract to the different ranches and fix fence for them. And
Perfect.
I grew up in Northeast Wyoming, Moorcroft to be exact. Population of 1,001. We got that extra one person there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So grew up small town, graduated high school, knew college was not for me, barely made it through high school, and went to work in the construction field for my uncle Don, and worked there for a couple years, got fired, came back a year later, took over the business 2 years after that, and grew the company from $7 million to $25 million in revenue. And at that point, his son was coming out of college, and I turned the reins over to him and went to the family ranch and helped grow it from 0 to 4 million in revenue and from there kind of decided that I love helping grow businesses. And so ever since then, I've just been on that journey of helping companies grow their business.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So what are you working on now?
So besides helping other entrepreneurs, I have in the last 6 months to a year, have started a livestock marketing company, helping ranchers identify the value of their inventory and when is the right time and the right place to bring it to market, or when they should be buying and increasing their inventory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Interesting.
I'm sure they love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So ranchers are great cattlemen. They do great at taking care of livestock, understanding how to move them and brand them. And but I seen that there was a real skill that was missing in the actual marketing side, and so that's why we created the livestock marketing company.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And how many ranchers are you working with?
Right now we have about 50 in Wyoming and the Dakotas that we're working with.
Wow.
On the livestock marketing thing, and I work with another 7 or 8 in the what we call the EOS, which is the entrepreneurial operating system that Gino Wickman created.
Yeah. Very cool.
Nice.
Very cool. So what's the most valuable lesson you've learned from your years in business?
So I think the most valuable lesson is when my uncle fired me when I was 19 years old, because I was arrogant and cocky, and I didn't think people mattered. I thought it was just all about the numbers, and I learned a lesson that people do matter. And if you show people how to win and you're a great servant leader, that they will, 90% of the people out there do want to win. You just have to set clear expectations and treat them like a human.
Yeah.
There's a theme starting to build here between
really
all
is.
these podcasts that we've been doing. So very good.
Mm-hmm.
So Rusty, who's been the biggest influence in your life? Who's had the biggest impact?
For sure, my Uncle Don in my business career.
Is this the same Uncle
has
Don?
Been my Uncle Don.
The same Uncle Don that fired you?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Just wanted to make sure he didn't have two Uncle Dons there.
Nope.
Okay.
No. So yeah, he had the great, and he's still my mentor today. He's just, he understands people at a different level, and he's just been a great business mentor my whole life.
Yeah. And so that
he was willing to do the right thing, regardless of how hard it was, and let me go. But then he seen the potential in me and welcomed me back once he seen I had matured and understood some lessons. And so, yeah, just a great guy.
Yeah, terrific. Good story. Thanks for sharing that. So are you ready for today's question of the day?
Yes, I am.
All right, here we go.
It's interesting that I got this question.
Yeah, well, we have a roulette wheel, and we spin it every night, and you just happen to end up with this question. This is a good one from Carlos Toliver, and I think this is great for a lot of people who are in leadership positions.
Yeah.
But the question is, how do you prepare yourself for a long and tedious task?
Yeah. So, how did I, or how do I now?
Well, give us
quite
both
different.
Right.
Yeah, give us both versions.
Would be good. Yeah.
Yeah. So I used to, when I had a long, tedious task, it was painful and miserable for me because I didn't understand my unique ability. And so I would try to plan out the different stages of it and how I was going to get it done. And really, try to prioritize the task itself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And frankly, it never went very well for me until I went to some Dan Sullivan coaching,
Mm-hmm.
and I learned this little concept that was who, not how.
It's a gem.
Yeah, it sure is.
And that the who, not how has really been a huge help to me in those long, tedious tasks, with a follow through of a 4, which I think is skewed slightly. I would say it's probably closer to a 2.
I would agree with you, Rusty, having gotten to know you better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So somehow I screwed up on Colby, and I got a 2 on or a 4 on follow through, and it's really a 2. But what I've found is that I have to embrace the fact that I don't have a huge follow through, and as long as I can get it done in the next 5 seconds, I will take any task on, and the rest of them I need to figure out who would be the right person to take on this long, tedious task for myself.
Yeah, and I love that because it ties right back to what you were saying earlier about, how important people are.
Mhm.
So if you genuinely care about people and you feel they really, really matter, boy, that when you're thinking about who, not how, it just ties right together. And you can't tackle a long and tedious task without having the right who's. So Tommy,
Absolutely.
Tommy's a great procrastinator. So did you find this to be true as well?
Oh, absolutely. The most important thing is surround yourself with people that like to do things that you don't.
Rusty, you'd like
to. And the great thing is that there actually is people that is their unique ability, and they thrive in that environment. And so it's not like you're degrading somebody. You're helping somebody live their ideal life because that's the stuff they love doing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Rusty, you'd like this, and maybe your wife Amy would get a kick out of this as well. Judy said to me the other day, this is my wife Judy, said, Rene, sometimes you got to do what you just don't like doing. And I said, no, I don't. We had a really good conversation after that, too.
Yeah, I can imagine, yes.
Yeah, so who not
Suck
out?
it up. Get it
Who not out?
And so I have my 2 boys in the vehicle with me right now,
Okay.
and I'm doing this conference on speakerphone.
Okay.
And I'm getting some funny looks at them because they've been mowing and weed eating, and I'm pretty sure when we get off the phone they're going to say, Dad, that's not my unique ability, and so you got to figure out who, not how.
No, that's a good question for them.
Yeah. Tell them to find a friend that loves mowing. They'll just pay half of what you're paying them or whatever,
All right.
Yeah.
Well, it's been great having you on our program, Rusty, and thanks so much for taking time out of your day to join us.
Yeah.
And absolutely, and thank you guys for what you're doing for the school there in North Lawndale. I love your cause. I think it's great. I've heard great things about North Lawndale, so thank you guys.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
And what we'll be doing is in this post, we'll put a link to how to donate to North Lawndale.
Okay, very good.
All right.
Perfect.
Well, thanks a
All
lot,
right.
Rusty.
Take care, Rusty, and don't speed.
Yes.
Godspeed.
All right.
Godspeed. Don't speed, though.
Later.
All right. Bye-bye.